Greetings everyone, my name is Gloria Romero. Today in this video I'm going to talk about international negotiation and strategies. So let's begin.
Concept of international negotiation. International negotiation is a structured process where people or organizations from different countries work together to reach agreements. From a diplomatic perspective, Wissenbardegas 2017 explained that international negotiation is the interaction between states and coalitions to balance national interest. From a business perspective, Andres Lares 2023 defines international negotiation as the process of reaching agreements or solving disputes between parties from different countries. Some key composite factors found by Andres Lares is that cultural difference, where we find different values, benefits, communication styles, legal and regulatory frameworks. Each country has unique laws, contracts, and regulation. And finally, economic factors, where negotiations must analyze local trends, market conditions, and competition.
Types of negotiations. Van der Gast 2017 says that negotiations can be classified depending on their structure, goals, and the number of parties involved. First, we find distributed negotiation, which is also called competitive negotiation. It was like a Windows game. If one side gains, the another side loses. And Van der Gast explains if one country gets more, another gets less. And on the other hand, we find integrative negotiation, which is about cooperation. The idea is to reach win-win results where parties can maximize gains by working together, for example, through technology transfer or financial support. Besides these two main types, there are also other forms like team negotiations, where each side is represented by a group, multi-party negotiations when more than two parties are involved, and one-shot negotiations where parties deal with each other only once and do not expect a future relationship. Types of negotiators. In business, negotiators play different roles depending on their mandate and expertise. According to Valdegas, there is four types of negotiators. Lead negotiators of diplomats, they represent national interests at the highest level, technical experts that provide scientific and policy knowledge to support negotiations. Coalition is spokespersons that represent groups of countries and bridge bodies that help mediate and connect conflicted sides. Negotiators also differentiate behavioral according to Black's Group, where we find analysis, logical, methodological, and focus on facts. They prefer carefully balanced silence and don't like surprises. They accommodate friendly, talkative, and relationship oriented. They value harmony, often give first, and might overprice to keep peace. Finally, we find the assertive, which is different, competitive, and focuses on being heard. Others might say them as aggressive, they value speed, clarify, and win through negotiations. International negotiations, strategies, and interfaces. According to Vandergast, strategies evolved in climate negotiations. In 1992, the focus was on creating a global agreement using principles like precaution and common but different responsibilities. In 1997, with the Kyoto Protocol, the strategy changed. Developing countries had legally binding emission targets. Finally, with the Paris Agreement, 2005 to 2015, the approach optimized voluntary national pledge, making it easy for many countries to join. This prioritized broad participation over strict legal obligations. Second, Vandergast explains the negotiation strategies also follow clear phases. First, preparing phase. Countries set their goals, define limits, and build alliances based on scientific, political, and economic analysis. Burning phase activity discussion include competence or corporate approach, agenda setting, coalition building, and concessions. Decision phase. Countries work toward compromise, using pact deals and informal meetings are important. Implementation and follow-up. Commitments are moderately updated over time, like the voluntary pledge under the Paris Agreement. National Negotiation Strategies by Global Negotiator 2015. First, we must set clear goals, understand the other's path context, and always have alternatives ready. Second, cultural difference matter. Knowing local practices, habits, and values help avoid misunderstandings. Third, the right resources are important. This means having translators, legal advisors, and experts to support the process. Fourth, it is essential to build trust. Acting transparently and adapting to changes creates stronger agreements. Fifth, integrity is a must. We should always share truthful information and protect our professional reputation. Six, Emotions must be controlled. Staying calm and collaborative helps even in difficult situations. 7. Flexibility is needed. Win-win solutions are the best for long-term success. 8. Commitments should be realistic. We should only agree to what can really be achieved and know when to walk away. 9. Agreements must be confirmed. After each meeting, it is important to review decisions to avoid confusion. Finally, we must be ready for failure. Not all negotiations succeed, so having backup options is necessary. Phases model for international negotiations, based on Business School 2022. The first phase is preparation. Here, negotiators collect information about the other party and their issues. They also study cultural difference, set clear objectives, define their best alternative to a negotiated agreement, and build initial trust. Finally, they develop a flexible strategy with backup options. The second phase is opening. In this stage, the tone of the negotiation is set. Parties agree on the process agenda and group roles. They continue building rapport and present their initial options, making sure of highlight areas and common interests. The third phase is bargaining. Parties clarify their true interests, brainstorm creative solutions, and use objective criteria like data or legal standards. They also make strategic concessions while protecting their priorities and adapt communication styles to handle cultural difference. The fourth phase is closings. Here, parties reach an agreement, putting into clear writing terms, and ensure fairness. They also prepare to follow up, which includes monitoring implementation and setting mechanisms of future cooperation. International climate negotiation. According to Van der Gast 2017, the factors that shape international climate negotiations are design, process, and tactics. First, the design. It includes rules and concessions designed to making. The author says that a good design must attract enough countries and include flexibility tools like emissions trading. In short, design sets the stage for what issues are discussed and how flexible countries can be. Second, the process. The refers of how negotiations actually take place. It includes the agenda, order, the issues, and coalition building. There are formal sessions, but also informal backstage meetings where real compromises are made. An effective process allows small steps of progress, separate political from technical issues, mixes cooperative and competitive approach, and promotes inclusiveness and trust. Thus, the tactics. There are the strategic negotiations used during talks. Examples include delaying decisions, linking issues, reframing proposals, building alliances, or using scientific and moral arguments. Small states often rely on moral authority and coalitions to balance large powers. Other key tactics involve negotiations timing, led by presidents, and using reports to exchange arguments. National market entry strategies by Binu 2018. The first strategy is directly exporting. Here, companies sell directly to foreign customers, often through subsidiaries or branch offices. This gives a strong control over sales and branding, but requires high cost and responsibility for logistics and operations. The second is indirect exporting. In this case, firms use intermediaries in their home country to resell abroad. It is less risky and cheaper, but companies lose control over customers, brand visibility, and long-term positioning. The third strategy is foreign direct investment. This involves investing capital, technology, and resources in other countries to build a long-term presence. It offers strong control and market integration, but requires major financial commitment and comes with political and economic risks. The fourth is joint ventures. These are partnerships between a foreign firm and the local company. They allow resource and knowledge sharing, which helps when entering new markets. However, cultural difference and conflicted objectives can make management complex. The fifth is franchising. Here, the franchisor always offers to use this brand and business model. It supports fast global expansion with lower costs, but risks include less control, dependence on franchises, and financial pressure on them. Finally, international markets and acquisitions. This means acting or merging with an existing foreign company. It provides instant access to markets and resources, but requires less investment and face challenge like integration and cultural clashes. Corporate strategy and the theory of firm in the digital age, according to Men's 2021. Unlike the industrial area, the digital age is driven by AI, IoT, cloud computing, and big data. Here, costs of reproducing information are very low and barely grows with more uses through network effects and data itself become a key resource. According to the authors, digitalization transforms corporate strategy in three main areas. First, corporate advantage. Companies now compete with new business models like platforms and asset-like structures. The focus has shifted from capturing profile immediately to creating value and growth, often through ecosystems. Second, print scale, scopes, and boundaries. Digitalization towards transactions costs, some first specialize, while others expand massively as companies connect with suppliers, partners, and even customers through digital ecosystems. Third, international structure and design. Traditional designs give way to more flexible and agile designs. Digital tools allow this tradition with empowering teams, but also centralization through monitoring. Automation reduces routine work, while demand for skilled workers are new roles. Third, MENTS proposed a results framework. First, knowledge penetration using old theories for old problems. Question development, old theories for new digital challenge. Theory development, new theories for existing problems. And knowledge diversification for new theories for new problems. Thank you very much for your attention.